Oh, I'm getting hungry. It must be lunchtime. Just ring
the bell.
Yeah, do it. Just hit that bell. Just hit that bell, hit the subscribe button. We all have lunch together and everyone's happy. Right, Matt?
Yeah, I'm good.
Dan's over there, look.
There he is, look.
Question,
Hello.
Michael Vine, look, for today's lunchtime fix. How can you determine the correct fit for an inconsistent amateur golfer whose swing could change shot to shot? Question, not criticism. Great question. How can you fit? I've fit and talked about fitting with many amateur golfers who would call themselves inconsistent. For me, it's defining what the word inconsistent actually means, because I would argue, and people might struggle with this, that most amateurs that I have taught through my life are super consistent.
Not many swings change from swing to swing, do they?
No.
Here and here.
No. I mean, Dan, how many swings do you get who come in, who swing 2 out to in, then 4 in, 2 out, and then 2 out to in? They're paths and bits.
I don't think I've ever seen it.
No, I haven't.
I don't think I've ever seen that. There'll always be one type of path that they're correct. What does change is where their face is kind of sometimes pointing.
Okay.
And then strike locations.
Strike, definitely for me. Yeah, you get a few. Even face is rare. Like if I get a student that has a face too close to a path and then the next one free open to a path, I make them aware that that is something that isn't the norm.
Yeah.
And we need to address that.
There's usually patterns to that as well, though. But that's a bit of a different road to go down, isn't
Yeah.
it? There's patterns when people have random faces,
Yeah.
like the high handle generally.
Yeah. So then you say
shows,
high
doesn't
handle.
it?
What about lie? How often does lie change when you're fit? Like
Not often.
No.
No.
Not
Unless
often.
they really duff it or do something very.
So they're always delivering 2-toe down around or 4-toe
Yeah.
down or 6 or whatever their pattern is.
Yeah.
So then for me, if I was fitting, and this is where I think fitting and coaching they're just so wrong that they should be the same. And this is where I personally, and I'm biased as a coach, feel like I have an advantage over a fitter coming at it from a coach's perspective, which is where those kind of forum chats about this helps and that helps always breaks down, because I just think, oh my God, if you had the experience of coaching that I've seen, you would stop saying that, because it's ridiculous that you're wasting your time on that. Is that if they think they're inconsistent because they're hitting all on the face, which gives them the dispersion, but then they've got, say, like a toe down out to in open face the path action that repeats, and then the strike varies where they hit it down the flat, down the range. I will fit them around those numbers if they're not playing much, but make them aware that we're fitting around numbers that I'm not happy with. Mm-hmm. You get the guy or girl who plays once a month, just wants some new clubs. Yeah. Okay, well that's fine, but I'm going to make you aware that we need to think about your delivery. And then the biggest advantage I think as a coach is that they will come with a certain fault, and I have experience of how easy or hard that fault is to fix or not. And I'll say to them, right, let's just try and change something to see if we can move those numbers. So let's say lie delivery. And if they respond well, I might say to them, well, look, let's fit around where we need to get you to. If they respond poorly, I'll make them aware that, look, there's work needs to be done for this fitting to work with how I want you to kind of move.
Like, I do it with my journey students. Like, I've got 6 months to correct them.
Yeah.
And they come in, they've got their faults, and I ask them if they've got custom fit, and generally it's yes. And their toes like massively toe up because they're slicers.
Yeah.
And they're trying to stop it, and it's like, well, you're delivering that toe down still, and your face is open, your path's 10 left. Let's change all that, and then send your clubs back, get them tweaked. And that's where I think it's really important to get fit with the coach that you're having lessons from as well.
Totally agree.
So I had a session in here once where the chap drove down from, he's probably a 3-hour drive he came down from. He came down for a fitting. He wanted a new set of golf clubs.
Yeah.
We went through the process, and his set pings that he had at the time, he needed to focus on his swing. His swing was so poor at the time that it was more important from my point of view to make sure his swing was better, and then he can look at changing his clubs later on. But that was a fitting that turned into basically a lesson.
Yeah, I stopped doing fittings when I was coaching full time. They used to I had people from Germany, Netherlands, all around the world coming for fittings, watching the videos. And I got the staff to tell them to stop saying they were fittings. These are lessons, and we can look at their equipment. How can you be a coach if you don't understand what affects delivery? We are only working with delivery, and if you don't understand in equipment what affects delivery, how can you be a functional coach? I literally don't get it. It's the same thing. It makes me so frustrated. And I see it with Liam when we go on tour ranges. I love it. I stand with him and we're filming, and me and Liam chat, and he'll turn to me and say, can you say something? Can you, because this isn't a fitting. Like, this club is fine for him, but he needs to strike it there, or he needs to just move that path there. And then he'll say, Mark, he'll like bring me in and say, Mark, what do you think? Because he doesn't want to say it to them, because it's delicate on tour ranges, it's like eggshell stuff.
I can remember one.
And he knows I'm not afraid to say something.
One of them, he was like wanting to hit it higher, and he's delivering 9 degrees spin.
Yeah.
Like, can I change that?
Wanted more spin, and
or whatever it was.
Yeah.
It was so funny.
So in answer to the question, I think it's actually very easy to fit people, because you've got to define what's inconsistent, and that's the biggest misconception I see when I get students in. They come in, I'm really inconsistent, I miss left and right, I miss all this, and they deliver, and I think, you're really consistent. You're hitting on all different parts of the face. That's not consistent. There isn't a fit that's going to bring that in particularly. We need to work on that. Your delivery is actually pretty consistent. Thanks for the question. Jam sandwiches, Dan?
Yeah.
Sharing them?
But peanut butter and jam.
Oh, I don't like peanut butter.
Peanut butter on this side, jam.
There's a spice shop.
I hate it.
Spice shop.